All right, we are now recording, so we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, just some housekeeping rules. If you have already applied for a position and you're trying to find out your status, we won't be able to go over that today. We're going to be focusing on the school, the day in the life, the hiring process. But if you want to know more about where you are in the process, you can send an email to recruiting@k12.com and we will get you connected to our recruiter for Texas. Also, we will be having a Q&A session that will be towards the end of the webinar. So feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box. You should see either a bar going across your screen, either up at the top of your screen or below, but click the Q&A button and you'll be able to put in your question and we will answer that once we get to that session. And also, again, we will be recording this webinar. So before I talk a little bit about Stride, I want our panelists to just jump on the microphone and tell us their name, what school they're from, and their title. And we can start from the top of the list and work our way down.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Bowman. I have been with Stride for a little over a year now. I have focused on a couple of different schools, but now mainly just focus on our campuses in Texas of Tops and Tiva. And I've been a recruiter for about 6 to 8 years. Lots of high volume and very excited to keep part of this partnership on with Texas. Israel Robinson is our other recruiter that supports Texas. She supports LOSA and Texas Shared Services. She can't join our call today as she is busy verbally extending offers, which is super exciting. It'll show you the movement that we have. I'm sure the admins are jumping up and down in their little screens too, excited that those offers are going out. So welcome and welcome to the recruiting side of Texas. Kate, if you want to go next.
Hey y'all, I'm Kate Henderson. I am a principal at Lone Star Online Academy. So glad you guys are here.
Hello, Larkay Gant, principal at Tiva Stride Career Prep.
Hello, my name is Rosalind Petrie. I am the principal of our elementary school at Tiva.
Hi, my name is Angel Castaneda. I am a 5th grade teacher at Tiva.
Hello, I am Melanie Athey, and I am a 4th grade general education teacher at Tiva.
All right. Was that everyone? Did everyone introduce themselves?
I'm assuming that Amy may not be in the room yet, but I'm Jane Eiley. I am the principal of Tops Elementary School.
All right. I think, Amy, are you able, do you want to jump on the mic?
Looks like she's frozen. I think her screen's frozen. Sorry.
Okay. Well, Amy is a 3rd grade general education teacher with TVAH, and she'll also be speaking with us as well. All right. And again, you'll also be hearing from them in a few minutes after my brief overview of who Stride is. If you've seen any commercials, you've probably seen K12, but we have changed our name to Stride Inc. We've been around for over 20 years now, and we are one of the leading providers of online education for grades K through 12. And we've moved to Stride Inc. because we not only are addressing the education for grades K through 12, but we've also expanded. So we have college and career prep courses. We also added career and corporate development as well. We've acquired some portfolio companies such as Galvanize, Tech Elevator, MedCerts, and Hack Reactor. Those are some coding boot camps, and MedCerts are for medical students that are interested in that career path. So we've gone not just from K through 12, but we've also expanded into career development as well as corporate development. So we truly believe that education is for anyone. Now we're going to go into each of our different schools, and we're going to have Tops to go first just to give us an overview of their school and who they are. So Jane, if you would like to hop on the mic and talk a little bit. Tops.
Certainly. Glad all y'all are here this afternoon. Texas Online Preparatory School, or TOPS, we are a grade 3 through 12 campus. Our grades 3 through 5 are in our elementary school. Our middle school is grades 6 through 8. And then our high school, of course, is grades 9 through 12. We offer a variety of courses. We are really a college career prep readiness campus. Again, as it says on the screen, the high school does offer a lot of dual credit opportunities, and then also esports, even down into the middle school grades. We, of course, at the elementary school, I can speak to that more. We, at the elementary school currently, we have about 3,700 students, and I have right out about 95 teachers just between general ed and special education. That does not include all of the support staff, the interventionists, the engagement specialist, all of our shared services teams who work together to support each student. Okay, and I guess now I'll turn it over to Lone Star.
Kate, if you'd like to hop on the microphone.
Sure. Yeah. So Lone Star Online Academy is the only Stride campus right now that offers kindergarten through 2nd grade. And so we are, like it says there, we are K through 6. So we're just a little bit different from the other campuses with that. Because we are elementary and that beginning middle school focused, we do have more teachers so that we can get some of those smaller class sizes in there, a little less departmentalized. And we are super excited about next year. We're just going to keep on growing. So it's going to be a good time.
All right, I can jump on and talk about TIVA. So we are a school that starts in 3rd grade and goes up through 12th grade. So our elementary campus is actually grades 3 through 6 on the TIVA campus. And then middle school is grades 7 and 8, and high school is 9 through 12. We have a total of 842 teachers. We are big. So our current student count is 17,500 students. So as it says, we are the biggest Stride powered school. Ms. Gant is here to talk a little bit more about the high school and SCP. That is her jam. So I'm going to pass it over to her for her to talk a little more about TIVA.
Hey everyone, as you all know, everything in Texas and TIVA is better. And so as you know, we are the biggest campus here in the great state of Texas. As you can see, I am definitely a Texan, all the way, even a Houston Texans fan. But we are so blessed because we have a plethora of things going on here at TIVA. At our high school campus, we do service currently, so not going into next year, over 8,800 students. And so we are growing by leaps and bounds. Within our career prep program, we have over 20 courses that we offer, grades 7 now through 12. And that includes 9 career pathways. So if you are looking for a position that is diverse, that is big, and that is better, come on over to TIVA.
Thank you so much, ladies. And after hearing about the different schools, we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to talk about some of these topics dealing with what's different about virtual teaching. So we want to talk about what the daily schedule looks like, the digital tools and resources, and the student-parent engagement. And I would like for some of our teachers to help give their experience. So I'm going to call on Angel to give us a little bit of insight of what 5th grade looks like for her, and then we'll also have Melanie and Amy to talk about their experience in for their grades as well.
All right, I can go ahead and start with fifth grade. So I absolutely love teaching fifth grade with Tiva. I am self-contained, so I do teach math, ELA, science, and American history. Our daily schedule right now, the chunk of my teaching is in the morning. So we have like 9 o'clock to 11:30, 12 o'clock. We have different sessions that we set up for the kids to meet with them in person in live sessions, and it varies from a general session where we introduce new content to throughout the week. We break up into small groups and we get to personalize the instruction and meet the kids where they are based on many different data points. So we have our map testing, our STAR testing, our USA test prep assessments that we use. We use all that data to specify the instruction and really reach our kids and give them what they need. In the afternoons, that's a little more open for me, and I am given the beautiful opportunity to schedule even one-to-one sessions if I need it with my kiddos. So for example, this year I had a kid who wasn't in RTI yet, so I was able to meet with him one-on-one for 30-minute sessions, and we were able to see what he needs, where he's at, what I can offer him. And then once I had all that evidence and all that data collected, I was given I guess more information to reach out to RTI and plead my case as to why I think he deserves this and why he should be with them to receive those extra supports. And it worked for us. I still meet with him from time to time just to check in, and just having that afternoon to contact my families and make my phone calls and build those relationships outside of our live sessions really makes a huge difference and gives me a lot of time to be able to do that. And I really do love that. I love our schedule this year. I feel like I'm in control of a lot that I do and given a lot of freedom to meet my kids and reach them where they are. And it's my absolute favorite thing.
Yes, and I'll just chime in on the backside of that. I mean, in fourth grade, our schedule is also very similar. And just to reiterate that, that morning schedule, you know, that's our teaching time. We have our goal sessions where it's very data driven, and we're able to really hone in on the gaps that we've identified through our various metrics to provide that small group instruction. So one of the things that I love about it is I feel like when I was in the brick and mortar classrooms, you know, you consistently have a full group, but to be able to have an undistracted set time with each group to extend or remediate, scaffold, whatever needs to take place, that has been just a tremendous impact for my students. The afternoons, again, very flexible. I have a lot of opportunity to plan and really refine what my lessons are going to look like to directly impact my students. So it's been a great experience for me.
All right, well, I feel like Angel and Melanie really covered that well. Third grade is very similar in the schedule, again, with the mornings teaching. We have the afternoons to differentiate a little bit more, especially with the third graders. They are the younger ones in our school, so they do sometimes need that extra tutoring for reading and that sort of thing. So we do have that time, and also for planning and making our lessons with our team and that sort of thing. So we do have a lot of work time in the afternoons and open time to meet with the students or call our families, that sort of thing. So it's a really good schedule. I'm very happy with it, especially with the groups, like they were saying, meeting with them in the mornings and meeting with them based on the data. So they're small groups, and they're, you know, a lot of times just hitting that one area of the TEK that they may be missing, or, you know, filling in gaps or extending the TEK. So it's been a really good experience this year.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, as far as the
Ms. Wilson, can I add something else?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I just didn't want to interrupt you. Another thing I'd like to mention is that we teach this schedule Monday through Thursday, and I absolutely love, I know we're going to get to it again here in a little bit. On Fridays, we have time to work with our colleagues and build with our colleagues and collaborate, and that is so valuable to me because I love working with all the brilliant minds on my team and being able to bounce ideas, and it's just amazing. I love it. I just wanted to throw that in there. I know we'll get into a little bit into it more in a little bit, but it's awesome having those Fridays to collaborate with our adult peers and colleagues and bounce these wonderful ideas off of each other.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, Angel, because I think that is a big caveat that people are like, what, virtual? Am I on an island by myself? And I'm like, it's almost the exact opposite, because we understand that we are in a room, potentially in our house alone. So having that consistent communication with one another on our teams in different departments is almost heightened a little bit more, and has a lot more effort into it, because we have that remote aspect of it, and you don't feel so alone, even though you are alone in a room by yourself, but you have all those different avenues to go into to talk to different people. And I almost feel a better sense of I'm more connected with this team than I ever was working in an office building, because you put in that extra energy to connect with your departments, to connect with your peers and upper management, and everyone's kind of on the same page of that's what it has to be, because even though you're alone, we are not on an island by ourselves.
Thanks, Erica. I did want to touch on, I know our teachers, they're mainly elementary, but if any of our admins wanted to talk briefly about middle school and also high school, just so they also get that view as well, feel free to hop on the microphone as well.
Hi, Larkea again. I can speak to the high school schedule, and not real sure about the middle school schedule going into next year, but I do know that we provide whole group and small group settings for our students, and it's really based on their needs. For Stride Career Prep, we do meet whole group. So your student would be invited to the course. That course is going to run Monday through Thursday for about 50 minutes. And then on Fridays are our fun days. These are our days if students do need to go into additional help, they do have those options. But we are looking to host our CTSO meetings, which are career and technical organization meetings. Those will be held on Fridays. We will have mock interviews, resume writing, NEPRA speakers. Those are industry speakers. So we're looking from anywhere from IT speakers to healthcare people, and they'll be coming in on Friday speaking to our students as well. So we look forward to Fridays because it's kind of a day away from the classroom setting and more interactive with the students, especially with those NEPRA speakers, where we're able to have them really talk to people that are in those positions, the positions that students want to have. We're really excited about our animation program that's coming out this coming season. And so I can't wait for our young minds to be able to see what all that has to look forward to. We also will be offering industry-based certifications. So our students will use class time to prepare for those exams. They're offered at no cost to students. And so those of you in the CTE world know the benefits. I know for myself, I got the entrepreneurship one, and that was amazing. So for business owners to be able to, you know, have that seal of approval is truly a blessing. And our students have all that at their access. We also offer some things like food handlers. So for our students who are working in the food industry. So it's very lucrative, the money that our students can make once they get those certifications. But as far as the schedule goes for Stride Career Prep, you would be hosting a live session each day, Monday through Thursday, from about 50 minutes, and that does run throughout the day. High school, I know we do have those general sessions. So those teachers as well are teaching Monday through Friday.
Awesome, thank you. Now, I did want to touch on the because I did see someone asking about curriculum. If we could touch on the professional development for our teachers, and then we can go into the curriculum and lesson planning that's done. And if I'm going to say if Jane or Kate want to talk a little bit about that, feel free to jump on the microphone.
Okay, I can start. At TOPS, we have ongoing professional development. And honestly, there's more support. This is my 12th year with Stride. And of course, I was in the brick and mortar, but I feel more supported here than I ever did in a brick and mortar setting. There are content experts, there are platform experts, that people are here to support you. And I think you can ask any teacher that is working with us now, any of the teachers in the room today, I believe that they will say the very, very exact same thing. So at the elementary campus for TOPS, we do a small professional, what I call mini professional development twice a month, lasting anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And it's always on a topic that is important to teachers right then. And I always like it to be something that's teacher led. So, because I don't think that effective professional development always comes from the administrative staff. It needs to be from the people that are in the trenches. And again, our teams are collectively working together, our grade level teams, and even across the academic teams. They're working together every week on curriculum and lesson planning. We're lucky at TOPS Elementary, we have math and literacy coaches that work hand in hand with our teachers to make sure that the curriculum and the lessons are strong and engaging, and of course, rigorous to meet the requirements of the TEKS, and then of course, as of the STAR. I want to thank the TIVA elementary teachers. Y'all did such a great job explaining what our daily schedule looks like. So, and I can just kind of just say ditto to that for TOPS Elementary as well. But one thing that I failed to mention about TOPS, we're unlike the other two schools because we have enrollment criteria for students at TOPS. In order to be a student at TOPS, our students have to have passed all of their core courses and have no behavior problems. Plus, incoming 4th and 5th graders have to have passed all of their STAR exams. So with that criteria, we continue to work with students to push them to higher levels. So anyway, Kate, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I'm seeing some questions about our specific curriculum and some curriculum and instruction questions. We do not have a curriculum and instruction team like maybe your local district may have, because our curriculum is built out already and aligned to state standards. We do have instructional coaches and teacher trainers. Every single campus in the state has those to come in and provide support and just give that. I mean, it's always nice to get that other perspective when you're looking at curriculum. We know that one size does not fit all. That is why all of our Stride Texas schools exist. So our teachers have the ability to add extension and remediation resources to all of the curriculum that is K through 12. And those things can be added in live classes or into the actual, asynchronous curriculum that students work in as well. So lots of options to make sure that we are working to meet students where they are at. For Lone Star Online Academy, our instructional schedule looks a little different. So our class times are chunked in the morning. We also have a little bit of class time on Fridays as well. When you're working with little bitties, it's important to be meeting with them daily to keep that momentum going. And so that's part of that relationship piece. The live class time with students on Fridays is less, typically, an hour and a half, and includes some built-in clubs and social times. The other campuses also have clubs and social times as well. Those schedules are specific to those campuses. So that's just what it looks like at LSOA. And that's always a good time for students to come in and giggle with their teacher, as well as get some time to dig into their special interest or share their special interest. So we always love getting to spend time with them doing that. So that's some info about LSOA and a little more info about our curriculum just as Stride Texas.
Awesome, thank you. I also wanted to touch on the teacher evaluation. Either, I know Jane and Kate, you all spoke. If Rosalind or I want to talk about teacher evaluation and how that's handled, feel free.
I can jump on and talk about teacher evaluation. Sure. So because at TIVA, we are a public school, we fall in line with all of the requirements for the state of Texas. So we do T-tests. So all of the teacher evaluation stuff happens just following the requirements that TEA has related to T-tests. So on the TIVA campus, the way that looks is we do 2 walkthroughs every month, and then we also have an announced formal that we do every year for our teachers. So they are getting really consistent live every couple of weeks feedback from an administrator and sometimes even other people as well who want to come and drop in and give feedback, like instructional coaches or teacher trainers and that kind of thing. So we definitely think and believe that it is important for us to be in there as much as we can to see what's happening live as the kiddos are interacting with the teachers and with each other on the camera, on the whiteboard, in the chat, in those live classes. So that feedback comes like right after the actual walkthrough happens. So you get that feedback right away. And then the announced formal that happens, there is a pre-conference that goes with that, a post-conference that goes with that, which should be pretty similar to what is happening across the state as far as the T-test teacher evaluations.
Awesome, thank you. For the sake of time, because I want to make sure we have enough time for questions, I'm going to have Erica to talk about the hiring process and our highlighted jobs. And from there, after that, we will go into more of our question and answer portion.
Perfect. So some qualifying factors that we need in order to join one of our Texas campuses is we do need an active teaching certification within the subject that you are applying to. So say if you're applying for high school math, you would need a math certification within those grade levels. Fantastic news, it does not need to be a Texas certification. So we are just asking for any state certification that is active within that subject. Another caveat to that is we will reimburse to get that Texas certification. So say if you are only certified in Arizona and you are hired on as a high school math teacher, to get that Texas certification, we would reimburse for that. So you could get double certs in 2 different states, which is also a nice thing to put in your back pocket. We do prefer our teachers, or a majority of our teachers, to reside in the state of Texas, and that is due to state testing, so STAR testing, which happens once a semester. We do travel in for those sites, so it is easier for our staff members to already reside within Texas. So that's where we have a strong preference towards that. Obviously, we're not going to exclude it. You've heard from Larkea and from Jane and Kate that our campuses are huge. So with that, we have to, broaden our horizons and go outside of the state, and we're more than happy to do that. So we just hired someone from Colorado, and I just hired someone from Utah. So there are caveats of where we would hire out-of-staters, so non-Texas residents, and it's not a disqualifier by any means. So if you don't reside within the state, please still consider one of our Texas campuses. For our salary, fantastic news, super exciting news. I'm going to see all the admins jump up and down here in a second, is we just increased our salaries. We realized that we needed to be closer to the market place. So this just happened on Monday. It is fresh off the press, so to speak, that our general education teachers are going to have a starting salary of $48,000 with a potential of a performance bonus that happens every school year. And then our special education counselors and social workers are going to be starting at $50,000. Again, also eligible for a performance bonus that happens school year. So we are aligning with the market a little bit more with increasing our salaries, and we're very excited about this news. Another great thing is we do accept alternative certifications within the state of Texas. So if you come from iTeach, Teachers of Tomorrow, just naming a couple, as long as you've completed that program and hold a statement of eligibility, we can move forward with the interview process and the hiring process, hopefully. So just a couple of FAQs about how to be qualified for one of our many positions over at Texas. And then some highlighted jobs. So these are the positions that we're really looking for that have a bulk of openings. It's just a group of positions that we have available. We have positions available all across the board. So everything from kindergarten to 12th grade to special education to CRE to CTE. These are going to be the main ones that we have a huge chunk opening. High school math teachers, your special education compliance specialists. So anyone that holds a special certification, CTE, CRE teachers. Some very interesting and exciting subjects they'll be teaching next year. I think every time a new rec comes across my way, I'm like, man, I wish I was in high school to take animation or digital media or college readiness. So some very interesting and new, exciting CRE, CTE positions coming available that I love seeing coming along. But these are just a handful of what we have. Like I said, we still have elementary positions, we still have middle school positions and whatnot. So definitely check out our career page on the different positions that we have available within our Texas schools. And how you can do that is the website. I believe Courtney just put it in the chat as well, is going into our website, and there is a search engine that you can do like a Boolean search on and just type in Texas. All of our schools have the Texas title in it, and you'll be able to search TOPS, TIVA, LOSA. We have Texas Shared Services, the different openings that they have. If you are interested in more than one position and more than one campus, apply to them. It just betters your chances of joining Stride at a Texas campus. Do you want to go to the next slide? All right, so a little bit about the hiring process. I know it was asked in the Q&A of what this kind of looks like. So the first thing is obviously you would need to apply. Since we have 3 huge campuses with multiple openings and we are aggressively hiring, we do ask that when you apply that you do bare minimum a copy of your resume and a copy of your certification. It just helps myself and Israel to look at it, make sure that you are qualified within the position, hold that active certification. We can take a gander over at your resume and move you forward to the next process, which is a hire review and a recorded lesson plan. So if you can attach those, it betters your chances of us moving a little bit faster and getting you over to hire review and in front of those hiring managers. If you don't attach those, we can't move forward with your application because we want to make sure that you are certified and there's a resume that the hiring managers can look at. So it's that back and forth that goes on, and there's lots of you and 2 of us. So the way you can make it easier is by attaching those documents. So that would be great. After we vetted you and make sure that you're qualified for the position and can work within our salary, we will then move you over to HireVue and do a recorded lesson plan. We want to see what it's like for you guys to be a virtual teacher. We understand it's not meant for everyone. So we like to see that setting of a recorded lesson plan. And then the hiring managers will review those and move those over to interviews, hopefully. So they'll reach out to you, do a digital interview, and then hopefully they are notifying us that they want to extend an offer. And man, can I tell you, these admins are moving fast. Like I said, Israel cannot join us because she is extending 13 offers right now and 25 more are going out. So they are actively doing interviews, looking at these hire reviews, scheduling them, getting offers out to our way. So if you are very interested, please don't wait to apply to a position. If you have more questions, you can always email the recruiting team at recruiting@k12.com and we can answer those questions in a timely manner. But like I said, there's a lot of you guys and there's only 2 of us. So we try to get to them within 1 to 2 business days of answering your questions. And hopefully we get to see you all come on staff as a Texas teacher.
Thanks, Erica.
Of course.
So now we've come to the portion of the webinar where everyone can participate. It's our Q&A session, and I see quite a few questions in our Q&A box. So we'll go ahead and get started. Actually, one of the questions, and I think, Eric, you might have already addressed them. They were regarding where was it? Okay, someone asked, will I be eligible if I live out of country? If you could just touch on that.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you do have to reside within the US. You could still be Hawaii or Alaska, but it needs to be the US. Just with tax purposes and things, we can't support out of country. So unfortunately, we can't go down that road. Doesn't mean it could change in the future, but at the moment, we do have that requirement of that you have to reside within the US.
Another question regarding just the role and I guess we could say hiring. Someone's asking, if you apply for one position, would you be in contention for other positions, or is it suggested to apply for all positions interested?
So you can apply for one, but I'm not a type of person that likes to put all my eggs in one basket. So I do suggest that you apply to as many positions that you are interested in. We do have a couple of positions that don't say school specific. Like we have high school math. It's not school specific because both of our campuses at Topps and Tiva are acquiring high school math teachers. So they are doing interviews together. You can put if you have a preference between the two. So there are some positions that don't have school specific jobs where you can be considered for both campuses, and the hiring managers are working together on conducting those interviews and whatnot. But like say if your math certification is 6th grade or 7th grade through 12th grade and you want to go after high school and middle school, apply for both. It just betters your chances of joining Stride.
All right. And someone was asking, what is required to earn bonuses? How attainable are they? I think there was when you talked about the salary on that slide, that's what they were asking about.
Yeah, so it's going to be performance-based, obviously. They are obtainable and a lot up to you, also up to the school about test scores and different avenues and caveats to that. If one of the admins wants to jump in a little bit and go, no, just, we obviously, everything is a case-by-case basis. We can't say across the board, this is what it looks like because each grade level looks different, each campus looks different. Each teacher looks different, but if one of the admins wants to jump in about a little bit what they're kind of looking for when it comes to looking at a performance bonus, that would be great.
So we have a rubric that we follow and metrics that are required to be met that rolls into what that performance bonus looks like. So it's just that it's all pretty black and white there. But that's kind of how we follow that. I can tell you that I feel like it is attainable. We're not here to, give you unattainable goals, but we do follow a rubric.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Kate. I'm seeing a lot of questions about TRS retirement. So since we are not a brick and mortar, we do not qualify for TRS. So we do not pay into that. We do offer a matching 401k instead. So we do have another avenue that we go down since we are a publicly traded company and we partner with school districts. We're not qualified for TRS. So therefore we offer the matching 401k instead.
Okay, I did see someone asking about if they were do we have any information regarding benefits or a link that they would be able to see for that?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different programs that we offer for benefits. We have, a whole package. We have dental, vision, paternity leave. There's a bunch of different avenues to go down. So if you're looking for more information about that, we can definitely send you one of our summary guides or our perks page. And you can email us at recruiting@k12.com and we will be more than happy to go over that information. It's like a big question to ask in a short amount of time, so I can't go a whole detail into it. But if you're inquiring about a little bit more detail, what exactly that looks, even potential costs, definitely email us over at recruiting@k12.com, and we'll definitely give you those documents so you can take a look at them.
Someone was asking, is it a lesson plan from K-12? Yes, we do provide the curriculum that our teachers go from.
So I'd like to expand on that a little bit. So our curriculum is written and designed for students in terms of live lesson planning. Teachers collaborate and create those themselves. So that you're really leveraging that limited time that you have. We do not have scripted live lesson plans for our teachers.
And I can add some more information to that for the 5th grade team with Tiva. On Fridays, a part of our meetings, we do have a department meeting where we're able to meet with our 5th grade team. And we present slides to our team, usually 2 weeks in advance. So there's plenty of time to, verify links, make sure everything works. And then that also gives teachers enough time to personalize the lessons for their group of kids and for what their kids need when it comes to that specific TEK or what the day they're looking at. So it's really nice to have a start point for our slides and teaching that week, and then we're given the freedom to add extra lessons or create different things to help our kids. And of course, we usually share that with the team also if we do make any changes or anything like that.
And just to add to that, I see another question coming up here about the online curriculum. I kind of like the way I would explain it is the online learning system is similar to the textbook that students might use. And then the live lessons are where we teach and scaffold and extend as needed based on student data.
I did see someone, they also asked regarding curriculum, what other instructional resources are available to augment the Stride curriculum? And anyone can.
I can speak a little to that. I mean, we have, the online learning system is kind of that background that students follow on a day-to-day basis. And then as teachers, we get to add a lot of creativity to it. We use Kahoots, we use Blue-Kits, we use Padlets. I mean, and all those terms may or may not be familiar to you, but they're just ways that we get to really like interact and extend learning for our students in ways that are kind of fun. Of course, I'm elementary, so we kind of like those games, but at the same time, we also utilize resources that help us to stay aligned with the TEKs as well. So there's just, I've learned so much since I stepped into this, and I mean, there just seems to always be something new out there. So that makes it fun, keeps them engaged.
Awesome, thanks. This question is for our assistant or academic administrators. We have someone asking, could they get some more information about what your day-to-day looks like?
The academic administrator day-to-day?
Yes.
Okay, I can speak to that. So as actually I was talking about earlier, the evaluation. So doing walkthroughs, honestly, that is part of our day. We do pretty regularly get to sit in classes, which is one of my favorite things, and do, those formals and those evaluations where we are getting to have that instructional coaching conversation with our teachers. We also have monthly meetings with all of our teachers called data-driven instruction meetings, where we just sit and we look at the data and we go through, some of the points that we think are going really great. And we talk about, how to interpret things to see where things might need to grow to. So we do incorporate those data-driven instruction meetings into our calendars on a regular basis as well. So that's part of it. And then, we have a bunch of other meetings that we need to attend just to try to help make sure that the functioning of our school is happening the way it should. And so we have staff meetings every Friday, and we are there for that and run those meetings, as well as department meetings. And then, we jump around into all of our department meetings and PLCs and stuff as well, so that we're there to answer questions and engage in that conversation with our teaching staff. I think that covers most of it. Did I miss anything, y'all?
If any other administrators want to I'm seeing nods of ditto, but Jane, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, and I kind of cut out there for just a second. Did you mention parent connections, Rosalind? So a big piece of the assistant principal role is visiting with parents. So they at Tops Elementary, I have an assistant principal in every grade level, and they own those teachers and they own those families. So they're there as that second line of contact after the teacher.
Awesome, thanks. Someone asked I was just going to say over the microphone, someone was asking what are the set hours, and Larkai, she said that in the chat, but it's 8 to 5 for our people that are working. Thank you.
For our teachers, I'll say it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I did have questions about hire view. If you are applying to multiple positions, you have to do multiple hire views now. Our system is smart enough to see that you applied to one position, and when we merge you over to multiples, it's going to merge that lesson plan over to multiples. So we're going to only ask for one, and it'll go being considered for all of them. So don't worry, you don't have to do a lesson plan for every single position that you are interested in. So you're good there. I did see a question about the schedule. So we do run on a school schedule. So we get the summer break, winter break, spring break, along with all the major holidays off, plus 10 days of sick and personal leave. What those kind of days off, like what particular they are, it really kind of depends on the campus and the position. So as far as like the set stone, hard answer to give you, but we do get those breaks with the major holidays and the additional 10 days of sick and personal time. So regular school schedule. I did see another question if we do contracts. We do not. So we are an at-will based company. Like I said, we are not part of the brick and mortar, so we don't qualify for TRS. So therefore we do not do contracts. So it just means you kind of continue until something were to happen, or hopefully you're professionally developing and you're growing into bigger and better roles and moving up the food chain, so to speak. So we do not do contracts. We're an at-will based company. And
Awesome.
I did see, I don't know if we went over it too much when we were going over the daily schedule with the teachers and everything, but some questions about the student to teacher ratio. So if we can get an idea on elementary, middle school, and high school, that would be great.
I can speak to Teva Elementary.
I was going to hop on and do the same thing. Go for it, Roz.
All right. Thanks, Angel. So our grades 3 through 5 are self-contained, meaning they teach all 4 core content. And because of that, their class sizes are around 40 to 45 students each. In 6th through 8th grade, the class sizes are larger because the teachers are departmentalized. So they only teach one subject, and the maximum amount of students that they would have is 180. So they are teaching more students, but it's split up throughout the days. They teach in one subject to more kiddos. Larkay, you want to talk high school?
Absolutely. So high school the core runs exactly like Rosalind just said. So they're going to be maxed out at about 180 students, give or take. Now, our electives and our Stride Career Prep courses are different. Our electives teachers and our Stride Career Prep teachers do service more students because the program is larger. So it really depends on if it is a PBL course, which is one of our project-based courses. Those teachers will have about 170 students. Everyone else, I'd say no more than 250 students.
At the elementary school for Tops, we will be a little bit of both. Some of our teachers will remain self-contained, but some of our teachers are also going to go into a partnership where we will have an ELA social studies and a math science. So 2 teachers together. Each teacher at the elementary school has, as Ross said, between 40 and 45 students.
Awesome. Now that we are in our last 5 minutes, if there are any other questions, we can try to answer those. But what I was going to say to our panelists, what advice would you give to our participants today that are thinking to apply, or maybe they're a brick and mortar teacher and they're thinking of transitioning into virtual teaching? If any of you want to jump on the microphone, what advice would you give to that person?
I can start that. It's scary. You know, if you are in a brick and mortar situation and you are thinking about a career move, anytime, no matter what career you're in, it is a scary thing. However, you won't be sorry if you come to Stride. This company's been around a long time. And I always talk to candidates because I hear all kinds of stories of teachers in the brick and mortar when the pandemic came and all the online teaching that you had to have, all that you just were thrown into it. You know, the pandemic hit everyone, but it didn't stop us because we had the systems and processes in place to carry on the next day. And so this is a good place to work. Stride takes care of its employees. There are multiple opportunities to move up in the company. You know, right now you think, well, I want to be a teacher, and that is wonderful. That is the noblest profession of all. But one day you may not want to do that. And those opportunities are here. So you have to take that leap of faith. You know that what you're doing is going to be for the best for you. So I encourage you, just take that step. You won't be sorry.
Yes, and I can definitely add to that. I was scared coming at first because I was like, virtual teaching. I like meeting my kids. I love the brick and mortar. I don't know, but I love every single day of my job and getting to meet with my kids and build relationships with my kids. And the more I talk to parents more in this setting than I did when I was in brick and mortar, not only for bad days or behavior issues, but more so for, hey, your kid was amazing today in my class. I loved how they did this, and they eat it up. They absolutely love it. And just like Jane said, I came in, I never wanted to be admin. I never wanted leadership. I just wanted to be in the class and I wanted to teach my kids. But being with Tiva and experiencing these amazing admins that we have, they're not scary at all. Anytime they hop in a room, at first I was like, oh gosh, they're in here. Uh-oh. It's not scary at all. I absolutely love when they come in and they can see how amazing my kids are and see all the cool things that I'm trying. I've actually been like, hey, you should get your master's. I think this would be really good for you. And the positive, the encouragement that they give us every day, like for T-Test and brick and mortar, mortified. I hated seeing the principal sitting in the back of the room with her clipboard, doing all the things. And I just felt so judged. But in here, it's so, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it is scary at first, and there is a lot to learn. But my colleagues, my fifth grade team is also amazing. We're always sharing ideas and always helping each other out. Anybody I had so far this year, I've had about 6 or 7 mentees that I've helped get used to Tiva, and just being able to like, hey, I need help. Can we hop on a call? Teams is so instant and so quick. Like when we get a second, we hop on a call, share our screen, and work through things. And it's been an amazing experience. Don't let pay hold you back, because there's always room for improvement there. I promise. The news we got today with our salary increase was everything for the single mom over here. So I love it. They really, really do take care of us. And I really do think it's worth a shot. I encourage you to apply and join this amazing community that we have.
I'm
Wanted
just
to
going to
jump in
reiterate
before
that.
you-
I agree
before you-
completely.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melanie.
Oh, no, you're good.
I just want to say, from my perspective, I have been a Stride parent. I've been a Stride teacher. I've been a Stride assistant principal, and now I'm a Stride principal. This is where it is. If you are second guessing yourself, I can tell you from each one of those perspectives, my family has been blessed. So don't think too long. You can never go wrong with Stride.
Go ahead, Melanie. You said you wanted to add something.
Yes, I was just gonna just reiterate what Angel was saying. That is so true. I would just say go for it. And then one thing I would say when you're recording your sample lesson, just let yourself shine through. I was so nervous my first like 50 takes, and but just let your personality shine through on that sample lesson, and you kind of get used to replacing the screen with the kiddos' faces. And in the real situation, you actually have those kiddos' faces, and so it is easier. The other thing is the salary and benefits. The benefits are fabulous. I know coming out of the TRS system and the insurance and all of that, that was very challenging for me, but I have been just really blessed by just the benefits and the difference there. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much to all of our panelists. I know we are at the top of the hour, so I don't want to belabor the time. This has been recorded, so if you've joined later on and you weren't able to see the full event, we will be sending this out to all of our registrants. If you still have more questions, you can send your email to recruiting@k12.com, and we'll try to answer those as well. I know we weren't able to answer all of them during our session, but I do want to thank all of our panelists that joined today for coming and to sharing their experience and answering questions. I want to thank everyone who attended this event. We hope that you are inspired and also want to join Stride and apply for some of our roles. Again, we'll also put the website in the chat box so you can go and look at our open roles. Again, we'll be sending this recording out to you all once it is available. And thank you again. Happy Friday, and we will see you at the next virtual event. Bye, everyone.